And this is being recorded. Let me just double check here. Okay, it's being recorded. Wait a little bit here as people are still coming in. Okay, well, welcome to our meeting here for Honor Society. Looks like some people are still coming in, but we will get started here. My name is Mrs. Wong, and I'm the Honor Society advisor. I know I've talked to some of you, and you've probably seen me post in Schoology about different things, but mostly my officers are going to be taking over, and they will be going over kind of the application process and also some other important things too. What I'm going to put in the chat right now is in the chat here. I'm going to put a link to our application. Okay. And what I want to stress too, if you are, make sure you're on mute, please. Thank you. If you are already in Honor Society, you're accepted for this school year back in February of 2021. You are in the wrong meeting. This is just a meeting for people who are interested for the 2022-2023 school year. Okay. So here is a link to our application. This is also the same one that's posted in Schoology. Once you open it, it's going to prompt you to make a copy for yourself. So that is there for you. Okay. All right. And we will get started.
Welcome everyone. This is our agenda for today. First, we're going to do some officer introductions. Then we'll talk about what National Honor Society is. Then we'll go over the requirements, then the application process, the Presidential Service Awards, which are optional, and some very important deadlines.
Jaden, there's no meeting for existing members right now. It'll be announced later on. This is just for interested. No worries. Okay. All right.
All right, so yeah, we're just going to introduce ourselves really quickly. So I'll start off. My name is Tanya, and I'm going to be I'm one of your co-presidents this year.
My name's Caitlin, and I'm your other co-president for this year. And we have our vice president, Valentina, who will be coming in shortly, but she is your vice president for this year.
My name is Pragya Rana. I'm your secretary for this year.
Hi everyone, my name is Seema Sendal and I'm your treasurer for this year.
Hi everyone, my name is Shreya and I'm your senior chair this year.
Hi everyone, my name is Shreya Shaji and I'm the junior chair for this year.
I don't know if this.
Yeah, Judy's not here.
Okay. All right. So again, I see some names I recognize. So again, you guys, this meeting is just for people who have never applied for Honor Society. So who have never joined, and this is after the application process. So if you are not one of those people, you applied last year or even the year before, then you are in the wrong meeting. Your meeting will be coming up probably sometime in February. So this is just for interested members.
All right, and then so just going to get started with what is National Honor Society. So National Honor Society is a nationwide organization for esteemed students, and it was established in 1921. It's present in all 50 states and around the world, and it recognizes individuals for their commitment to scholarship, service, leadership, and character. And so on average, Honor Society chapters usually contribute to about 1,000 hours of service and sometimes even more. So the membership requirements to be an honor society is having at least a 3.5 GPA, and you have to complete at least 15 hours of community service. And the things that count is last year's whatever community service projects or hours that you did is included for this school year, and any religious activities, unless it's benefiting the whole community, do not count. Being a team manager for NCHS or any sports team does not count either. And if you want any clarification as to what counts or what doesn't count, please contact an officer, one of us, or Mrs. Wong. And so for the completed application, it's an essay style question on leadership and character.
So now we're going to talk a little bit more about the application that you guys are going to be filling out. So this is going to be due in about a month. Actually, I think almost exactly a month from now. So this application is on Schoology, and Mrs. Wong also did just put it in the chat. So if you haven't been able to access that yet, open it up. And so this application has the questions you're going to need to answer, the essay questions that Shreya just mentioned, as well as your log to track all your hours that you've done this year. So just make sure that while you're tracking your hours, you keep track of how many hours you've done, the date that you did your hours on, and the contact information of your supervisor. This year, you don't need a signature. You just need to make sure that you have an email address or a phone number written down. And just a quick reminder that in order for your application to be accepted, you're going to need 15 service hours. And if you are accepted into Honor Society this year, you're going to have to fulfill those membership requirements every year. And you can't actually reapply if you miss a year. So that's just something to be aware of for next year. And this year, we also have some optional presidential service awards. So you guys can complete these if you've done so many hours. So this is a nationally recognized award, and it gives you, so you can get the bronze level award if you've done from 100 to 174 hours, the silver level award if you've done from 175 to 249 hours, and from 250 hours and above, you can get the gold award. So this is just something to keep in mind if you've done this many awards. So if you have any questions about this, you can contact us, but this is just something to keep in mind.
Okay, so the interested member applications are all due by February 18th by 4 p.m. and we will not be accepting any late applications, so please make sure you get those turned in on time. And when turning in your applications, you can either choose to turn them in to Mrs. Wong's box in the office, or you can hand them to her personally. Please don't hand them to any NHS officers because we're not authorized to collect them. And then your completed application should have your hours log, your printed grades with your GPA, just your first semester since you won't have your finalized second semester grades, and then your character essay and your leadership reflection. And we'll not be accepting any incomplete applications.
Yeah, so Faith, I think that answers your question. That probably gets put in there. Go ahead, sorry.
As the deadlines are approaching, it's really important that you all stay in contact with Honor Society. So make sure to follow us on our Instagram where we'll be posting updates about meetings or stories on there. And make sure that you're in our Schoology group for interested members, and the code is up there. And also, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to any officers or Mrs. Wong's email, which is on the slide as well.
Okay, so we have some questions here, so I'm just going to say them out loud. If you have questions, you put in the chat. Someone asked about the Presidential Service Award. So Pragya put in a link there. It does depend on age. There's different requirements for hours based on whether you're 15 or 16. So you can take a look at that link. Presidential awards, when you submit your hours, your name is going to be automatically submitted. I'm going to ask you, I guess. So if Pragya submits her hours, and let's say she has 175 hours, then I would contact Pragya and say, would you like your name to be submitted for Presidential Service Award? So the deadline for the service award is the same deadline for your hours. Okay. Someone asked if online tutoring counts for hours. Yes, it does. That is a great service opportunity, as long as you're not getting paid. Are those awards all throughout your membership or just per year? Though there's one lifetime award, I believe it's like 400 hours, anyone know? But it's just per year, typically. How come an application says turn into Google Drive? That is from last, that's a mistake. We apologize. It should not say that. So let me double check here. Come on. Turned Google Drive folder. Nope, sorry. You're gonna go ahead and you can just edit this here to my box. That was from last year when we were remote. Okay. Okay. All right, so that's changed. So if you want to edit that on yours, you can. Yes, I'm going to post these slides to Schoology, so you will be able to access those later on. So you're going to turn in a hard copy, so you can print it off to my box in the main office. So someone asked a good question about what are some good service opportunities. We post, people send me hours. So people send me service opportunities all the time that I post in our Schoology group. As far as that goes, though, you guys are kind of responsible for finding your own. I know that teachers always need help, so that's always kind of a plan B. Another good option is neighborhood cleanups. If you want to clean up your neighborhood. And anyone else have any other good ideas? I know that the Smithsonian right now offers virtual service opportunities. So if you're not comfortable doing something because of COVID, then that's an option too. So that's the Smithsonian Museum. And I don't know if you guys have anything else to add.
Yeah, there are a lot of good online opportunities. So if you speak multiple languages, a lot of places take translators, and that's just like something you can do online. So that's a good opportunity for you guys. And also, I mean, a lot of places take online tutoring. So there's this one organization called Schoolhouse World, and that's just one I know off the top of my head. But there are several platforms that let you be a tutor online if you're a high schooler. So those are two great opportunities. Honestly, though, if you just Google online service opportunities, a lot of things come up. And then there's also like, I know things are probably closed right now, but there are always like food banks in our area, places that will always be taking volunteers. So homeless shelters, things like that. So you could always check with them to see if they're taking volunteers in person, if that's something you're interested in.
Okay, thank you, Tanya. All right, someone asked too, would setting up for a religious event that was open to the whole community count for hours? Yes, that would. It kind of depends on the event. If it was if the event had nothing to do with, I kind of would need some more details about that, I think. So if it's like a event that was not any worship service or anything like that, then yes. But let's say you had an event that you were putting on mass for your church, then no. So I'd have to have some more details. You're a secretary of a club and do you work for the club outside of school hours? Does that count? I would say if you are doing community service with that club, yes. If you're just running a club, then no. And if the club benefits the community, then yes. Does scorekeeping for a nonprofit sports team count for hours? Yes, that would count. Thank you, Froggy. Okay, 4,000 hours.
Also, I want to add something real quick. If you're part of the ASB and you volunteer, none of those hours will count. If it's for your grade, you can add those hours to National Honor Society. Just want to quickly get that out.
Yep, thank you. Oh, yes, Faith, that brought up a good point. If you want to be considered for presidential service opportunity, then those hours are technically due in April. Yes, so if you want to be considered, so if you are a new member, which all you guys are, you're interested member, then you would submit those hours later on. Individually tutoring classmates count. If it's outside of class, yes, and the supervisor would probably be whoever the parent or guardian is. It can't just be your friend. Can you do more hours that count after you turn applications? Yes, you can. Yep, so they would count towards, well, so we usually do like beginning of June to, well, probably end of May, or sorry, beginning of May to April is the year that would count for service. If we have a job, can we work without getting paid for hours? Yes, if it's benefiting the community, you're not being compensated, then yes, that would count. If we clean up neighborhood, who would be your supervisor? It'd probably be your parents or a neighborhood or a neighbor.
Miss Wong,
Yes.
I was going to say another virtual place, if you're not comfortable doing a service opportunity because of COVID, is this place called Letters for Rose. And you can send in letters virtually or you can mail them and they go to retirement homes in Bothell. But other than North Creek, you can definitely ask schools around us like Skyview or Canyon Creek. Their teachers are always looking for people to help them grade like papers or like super simplistic stuff because it's like coloring and stuff like that, but also like cleaning their classrooms. They're always looking for people to help out.
Definitely. Yep. Okay, I donated 2 hours worth of materials to Week Club. I am not in charge of Week Club, and so I don't know here if anyone is in charge of Week Club. They've received a response. So try to email them again. And then if they don't email you back, then you can email me. I'll try to get that. Can you please send me the link to the Smithsonian? I don't have the direct link, but I think if you just Google Smithsonian volunteer opportunity, it should pop up. Yes, if you need to go, that's fine. Yes, Medicazone, that works. That is a great. Could you repeat the virtual tutoring? What was the, Tanya, what was the name of the virtual tutoring you said?
Yeah, it's called Schoolhouse World. I put it in the chat as well.
So it's in the chat. The volunteer basketball coach for kindergartners would count. Yes, it would. Yes, community service at the Museum of Flight. Yep. Okay. I'm going to go through and just look at questions because we have a lot of questions here. It's the exact date for the Presidential Service Awards, I believe, is April. It's the Friday before spring break. So April 8th. Okay, that'd be the deadline if you want to consider doing service awards. Does making care pack the presidential service awards? Does making care packages and delivering them to homeless count? Yes, that would count. I'm club secretary and we help out animals and make packages for them. That would be a perfect example of being in a club and having community service. Yep, because that benefits the community. Museum of Flight counts. Yep. Helping my church or mosque distribute food. Yes, that would count. That would count. So even for new members applying, we just submit our application later. I don't know what you're asking. Your applications are due February 18th. Okay, so if that answers your question. Oh, I see. For the presidential awards, maybe is that you're asking me? So if you want to be considered for the presidential awards, I'm going to post something in our Schoology group later on in April, and you can submit your name then. For the presidential service awards, yes, you can do 2 different clubs. So applications. So again, there's 2 separate things, you guys. There's the Presidential Service Awards, which we only have like 10 people actually get enough hours to do that. And we have our interested member applications, which are due February. So applications to be considered for Honor Society are February 18th. The Presidential Service Awards are actually not given by us. They're given by President Biden. Okay. And that is if you fall into those categories where you do those certain amount of hours. And let's say you do those certain amount of hours this year, so you complete 100 hours this year, then in April, I will post something on Schoology where you can submit your name for that and submit verification of your hours. You can do the same thing. You don't need a variety of service hours. How do you log hours after you submit your applications? Well, you can't start logging hours until technically end of April, I guess. So there is a log that we have that we're going to post on Schoology. You're just going to have to wait till the fall to start logging that. So just keep track on your own. Okay. Cleaning your local church or mosque counts hours. Yes, that would count. You go to April 1st, you have 100 plus hours. If you're applying for the Presidential Service Award. If you want to sign up to help out in elementary, middle school, you're just going to have to talk to whatever principal's there if you have a teacher in mind of who you want to help. Okay. Now there's the Smithsonian. Awesome. Writing letters to seniors counts. Okay. All right. So again, you can start collecting hours for next year after April 8th, I would say, after those are due. Tutor someone outside of school and have to create your own resources. Would that time count too? I would say yes. Yeah. Okay, so I'm just going to clarify this one more time, you guys. Okay, applications for everyone for Honor Society. So if you want to be considered to be accepted in Honor Society, applications are due when? Tell me in the chat. February 18th. Awesome. Okay. Now, if you, for some reason, let's say I'm going to pick on Advaith here because he's one of my students. So Advaith does 200 hours this year. Okay. What I'm going to do is if Advaith wants to be considered to get a Presidential Service Award at our induction ceremony, then Advaith would look in Schoology, okay, in beginning of April, okay, and he'd say, okay, I want to submit my name to be considered, okay? But everyone else is due February 18th. Okay. Some more hours do count. Yep. Yep, exactly. Faith. Yep, that's exactly right. Okay. So I think I got most questions. So everyone is free to go. You will know, it will be in probably March that you'll know. I usually post a list online in March.
Have a good day. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye. See
Thank
ya.
you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Bye.
You're welcome.